Hi and welcome to the first of the Barracuda Vape reviews. My name is Chris. Now today we are looking at one of the latest pieces of equipment that is currently on the market and is designed for the very basic user, the Tecc Tab. I've been using this device for a little while. I'm going to take a quick vape a second. Now the idea of this is essentially there's no bells and whistles in the sense of there's nothing that you need to turn up, mess about with. Literally pod system which you remove from the actual device, so that is what contains your liquid. You then slot that in the device. It's permanently on. You can check this device out on our website, which is barracudavape.co.uk, or you can pop into one of our stores. Essentially, as I mentioned, it's made by a company called Tecc, alright? So it's a very minimalistic looking design, quite easy to use as well, so there's no problems to move away from cigarette. Liquid I'm actually using today is Podfather, the most famous flavours that we currently stock within the company, and they've been designed so they work well within these devices. So let's dive down in the close-ups. This is the packaging the device comes in. On the back of the device, okay, it'll actually give you obviously the kit contents, a little bit of information that I would advise you to read. Holographic sticker there showing the authenticity of the device. We only stock brands that are completely authentic, so that's again a plus point. Now opening the device up, obviously you're greeted straight away with the device itself and all the contents that comes with it. It comes with an instruction manual. I would advise you reading this. It's quite important, and here's a point of reference for anyone using any device. The device itself is obviously in this case here. As you can see, there is a charge cable. Now one thing to mention, this charge cable is any USB up to 1 amp is generally good. Quite important to use the cable provided. Make sure you plug it into a USB rather than a phone charger. Then you're greeted with the device itself. This little box on the front here is your battery indicator. As you're vaping, should we say, this will glow green and then obviously change colour, and that'll give you the status of your battery. Micro USB charge port right there. And the rest of it is quite simple. The pod systems, these are the pod systems. Now this is where your liquid, you'll contain your liquid, and essentially is what we would call an atomizer or a coil. So the pod actually comes out. Don't try and force anything, as you can see. It may take a little bit of pressure, but pressure is a good thing. That actually means it's sealed in the device correctly. And there's your pod. Alright, as you can see, I have filled this up with some liquid, and the liquid we're using today at the moment is a little bit of Fruit Bomb, Podfather, it's Barracuda brand, and we stock these obviously within store. To fill the device up, what you will need to do is take this little tab away. Now please be careful, obviously. Make sure you put them aside carefully. And then to fill the device up, what would happen is you then take your top off your bottle, take your 10ml bottle. What will happen is you'll then literally put your 10ml in. You can see the device actually filling up, and then you would put your rubber band back in. God forbid actually lose one of these. There are 2 spare actually in the case, so you know, well done to Tecc for including those. That's a big plus point as well, I think personally. There's one system, there's 2. For example, Rolly flavour, that's one of the most popular tobaccos that we do. Very much like a traditional tobacco, and obviously if you're coming away from cigarettes, there's probably a lot of you will actually be looking forward to using these sort of flavours. What you can do is, let's say Fruit Bomb's in this one, as we mentioned before. You can have Rolly in there, and then throughout the day you can maybe change it over to a menthol. This is Black Ice, another favourite of mine. Very easy to use, and as I mentioned, if you want to charge your device, what would happen is you then place that inside the charge port. Please be careful when actually using these chargers not to damage obviously your charge port. So it's quite easy, just push in, no resistance really. That then goes into USB. Obviously your little battery indicator will then change as per se up to a green. Green is obviously a full charge, and then make sure when you're holding it, hold it firmly by the plug there and then moving away like so. Now to put your tab back in, alright, or your pod I should say, there is a slight groove. Now there's a groove here, alright, which corresponds with actually the groove that's cut in the device. You then place that back inside, obviously making sure that your rubber bung is in there. Then place that back down and it will stop so far. You then apply a little bit of pressure and push in. And that is it, guys. That is literally it. That's everything that contains in the box. I quite like how simplistic this device is. Someone, a prime example, like my mother at the moment, she's currently looking to move away from tobacco. It's great for her because obviously there's no sort of adjustment. It's a very simplistic, easy way to kind of get on and start vaping. So what we're going to do now is we'll dive back up and I'll give you my final thoughts. Now, what is my final thoughts on these devices? Well, I think it's a great way of obviously introducing, let's say, the smoker or the avid tobacco smoker, should we say, into the world of vaping. Very easy to use in the sense of easy to set up and easy to use from day to day. And what I'm going to do is just take now another quick vape. It kind of mimics the way you would smoke a cigarette. These are essentially a way of replacing cigarettes. So you can pop this in your top pocket or in your trousers, and it doesn't kind of feel obtrusive in any way. It's very, you know, the profile of the device, nice and small and easy to use. Battery life is very commendable, to be fair, and the reason behind which is you're only essentially using the device every time you take an inhale. Whereas a cigarette would obviously carry on burning, this device then switches itself off in a very nice little fashion. The light goes out, and then obviously you're left with the device that then goes back in your pocket. So yeah, it is a pat on the back obviously to Tecc for doing this. Definitely has a place in the marketplace, and I probably would 110% recommend the beginner to start on something like this. Remember, vaping is a journey. We're obviously here to help you out through that journey. If you have any questions and problems, obviously please remember you can pop into any of our stores and our staff will help you out, and even if it's just setting the device up or maybe showing you how to fill it up. So thanks once again for watching. Take care.